Welcome. Hope we both had wonderful days, whatever it is that you were doing. Kel, I'm going to go to you first as a City fan. Another game, no victory, booed off the pitch again. Talk to me about your team's performance today.
Oh, another snore fest, man. Another 4:30 wake-up call to watch that garbage. I know everyone loves beating up on Pep, but I think it was clear today that was on the players. They just not good enough, man. I can't think of one like good performance. Holland is just you can tell he's not being pushed by anybody on the team because he has no backup and he just keeps playing stinker after stinker. We could have won the game if he had just made the penalty, but no, he couldn't do that. I thought Savio was okay. He was constantly cooking that fullback, but he has no end product. So it's like, what's the point? Just another exercise in futility. And yeah, it feels like Groundhog Day watching this team, honestly, because just the same thing happens over and over and over again. It's like we scored an early goal, then we missed some chances, and then one pass from the other team, and it's like off to the races, and they scored equalizer. And I guess the only improvement today was that we didn't give up a second goal like immediately after. So yeah, just not much going on. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep during that because.
Actually, I thought the game was very well. I think every time Everton got the ball and they weren't going forward, I thought they're gonna score. I'm being serious, by the way.
In the second half, I agree with you.
Yeah, every
once
time
that like initial like 15 minutes had lapsed and we ran out of energy.
Then, every time they got the ball, I thought Everton could have won this game 2-1. To be honest, I know that Man City got the penalty because Mikalenko like kicked Savinho, but Everton to me looked like the more threatening team. Which is, I thought they were closer to the win. I know that Man City had all the ball and everything, but I thought that if this game ended 2-1, and I'd say the best team won on the pitch, the best setup team won. Man City went up very well, actually. It was all individual. It's all Savinho trying to beat three men to create something. It's all
no one else is doing anything.
While Erling Haaland is literally watching your wingers dribble and never delivering anything to him. It's all a long cross.
Nobody's able to.
I disagree with you that this is on the players. It is never going to be all the players suddenly are performing bad. It's on Pep Guardiola and the managerial staff. It is not on all the players to perform well. It is Pep setting them up for failure. And I know he has a lot of credit in the bank, and people will always say that, and he does. He has a lot of credit in the bank. But the reality is you're sitting 11 players on the pitch to be counter-attacked. You don't have anyone to fend for your defense. Your wingers are not creating. Your forward looks so down, yet you cannot sub him out and give him a break. You'll the pile-on continue on him from everyone, rivals, from all the fans. And you are there, literally, Pep Guardiola standing on the sideline. And this is what people now need to wake up. Pep Guardiola now, facing adversity in his career for the first time like this, is literally, and me and Terry keep saying this, and I agree with him, he is permitting nervousness and transmitting nervousness and stress into the players on the pitch. Hand on face, on the ground, sitting on his knees, not knowing what to do, talking strange to the media, and the players are nervous. And the Man City fans need to wake up. It is not only yes on Pep, but him as a leader need to be looked at. I'm like, if you are the best coach in the world and in the history, as you guys say, take us out of this slump. At least make us put in a good performance. And for everyone, and I'm not here going to go get dragged into an Alex Ferguson discussion or Mourinho or whatever. Pep Guardiola, sitting on the sideline, not knowing what to do and being nervous, the players on the pitch as well, feeling the pressure. He's not calming his players down. And some of these players are young, like a Doku, like a Savinho, by the way, Gavardiol, they are young. And they need someone to lead the way and tell them where to go. And him benching Kevin De Bruyne is not even helping because I can tell that these players are looking around and looking for a leader. Gundogan is not a leader because he left the club and came back. Rodri is not there. They are looking around and looking for someone to pat them on the back and tell them where to go and what to do. Him benching Kevin De Bruyne for a mystery that we don't know what it is again something that he's not briefing the media and telling us what is going on. Why is your best player being benched every game? Someone need to tell us. People in the chat. If someone knows, let me know. Why is Kevin De Bruyne every game is on the bench?
He and Gundo
What?
apparently are sick. That's
Okay.
what the media
He's
said.
sick. Kevin De Bruyne, if he's sick, he wouldn't come on to play 30 minutes. And he was running around. Maybe the end product is
lively,
not here, but he looked lively. Kevin De Bruyne,
The
one
only
free
one.
kick.
Do you know what's
Yes.
interesting, Mo? Do you know what's interesting? The press over here in the last 24 hours have been it's all these briefings of Pep is so dedicated. I read something and I didn't tweet about it because I didn't want to upset the football gods. But they said that the players are being made they're basically not having Christmas. They've got to train and then stay at the club until Boxing Day and all these little things. And I'm reading it and I'm just thinking to myself, the way Pep's moving is like a lot of and I don't want people to misinterpret this because that's how dumb the internet can be. I'm not comparing him to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not comparing him to David Moyes, but I'm using examples of poor management from managers at a much lower level than Pep when adversity struck at those clubs. Does that make sense? And they did weird things. One of the biggest standouts that David Moyes mistake he made, he was sitting there reading self-help books in front of the players on flights. And a lot of the experienced players who had won things just said that sent a message to them that he was not coping. That's the type of thing you do in private. And then you kind of talk about what you've learned like it's natural to you as an example. The way that he has his team sitting back and becoming passive after adversity or when they score reminds me so much of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Some of the sort of almost totalitarian approach he has around, I'm going to sleep in the training ground rather than going home. The players have got to come in and train on days that they normally wouldn't. That's the type of things that the Jose's were doing at Man United when they were struggling. And the reason why I'm using those examples is he's doing things that either very good managers that were fading did or average or bad managers did during adversity. That is why I find it hard to defend Pep Guardiola. And there's one person who's probably sitting at home today kicking himself that when he was the manager of Liverpool, he didn't do more to wind Pep up. He didn't do more to try and stress Pep out. Because a lot of fans of La Liga said, as soon as Jose put a lot of pressure on Pep, he kind of crumbled mentally. And when he started crumbling mentally, his team got a bit weaker and he walked away. And I just wonder now, hindsight's lucrative, if Klopp would have put a lot more pressure on him, wound him up more, got under his skin, could you have sort of triggered this type of behavior from Pep sooner? Because I will agree with you 100%. Some of these players have been poor. Some have aged out. Yes, injuries have an impact. I give every team that credit. But I've said it for weeks, and I agree with you, Mo, what you said here. This man talking about shitting himself with IBS, scratching his head, kicking seats, this lack of composure, this lack of decorum from one of the greats, I think is it's not the only problem, but I think it's the biggest single problem. If you isolate them all, currently at Manchester City, it's Pep's demeanor. He's overthinking. And he used to lose a few games every now and then by galaxy braining. I think he's doing that almost 2 or 3 times a game, and it's going crazy wrong. And that's why I think by the end of these 4 games, we're 1 in 4. I think he's going to, if it doesn't improve, I think he loses the dressing room. I think the players just say, we love you, but it's done. And that's why they're briefing with he's here for 2 years. He wants to rebuild. He's so dedicated. I almost feel like he's getting to that point because this run can't continue without long-term damage. It isn't a run of bad form. This has never happened to a defending champion before. This is so unprecedented. There has to be something else wrong other than just a few players have suddenly got old at the beginning of November.
I think you're forgetting your history because City are the only team to get relegated after they won the title back in like the 20s or the 30s.
No, it's different, Kelk. You get the new era is different, Kelk. Like you get the point. You cannot be that dominant for Pete, and then your manager is on the sideline, doesn't know what to do, and the players are today, guys. One of the things that I saw today, I saw Phil Foden looking to the sideline. I saw Erling Haaland looking to the sideline. Savinho was looking to the sideline. These guys are looking for help. And listen, we all talk about.
There was no help. Did you see that bench
It's
today?
not about that.
No,
it is about the manager trying to fix it. But I've seen Alex Ferguson make change. I've seen Fabio Capello make bold decisions. It's just sometimes you need to do something out of the ordinary. You said it. I think me and you did a show, and you said, why doesn't he do something out of the ordinary? Why doesn't he just bench Haaland for a game? But like do something like that. Just play somebody else. Yeah, I think Kelk said it the other way.
Bring an academy player in. Igal, you're with us here today.
This is a game to bring in an academy player too, because that back line has been absolutely decimated. And I thought at home, to a team that doesn't score a lot would have been a great time to bring in
exactly.
Suzy.
What is that? You got to remember, this was.
And he only did it
Everton's
because Ake got injured again.
That's it.
This was Everton's first goal away from home in 2.5 months as well. This was the perfect game to give some of the young midfielders or some of the young attackers a chance, because you're going to have 70% of the ball. There was going to be only counter-attack threats. This was the perfect chance. You didn't do it. Igal